my consulting fee for finance, just I'll send you a bill. Financial consultant. All right, questions? Well, that's it. That's chapter 4 and chapter 5. I'm not going to give you any more out of chapter 4 and chapter 5 because I want to move on to some more stuff next week on unit 4. Now, what's going to be on the test? Well, we'll show you right quick. Let me pull it up and let you see it.
When is the test?
It's on here. You just have to look when I pull it up because I done forgot. The chapter 4 test, which is unit 3, chapter 4. I broke it up into 2 tests. Unit 3, chapter 4 is due on the 2nd. Unit 3, chapter 5 is due on the what? 7th, so a week later. You can do all of them at one time or you can do them separate. And the homework will correspond pretty much with those dates. So you can look it up and see what the homework is. Chapter 4. Of course, the vertical, we're not going to go through and do each one. We're just going to go through because I need to go through both tests. So write that down. This one is vertical, horizontal, or oblique asymptotes. That's where you look at the degree of the numerator and the degree of the denominator. These are the same, so you're going to end up using the coefficient. If you plug 0 in for this, you get 9. You plug in 0 in for this, you get 65. Negative over negative is a positive. So your answer is going to be 9 over 65, whatever that comes out to be. It may be 3, I don't know if you can divide 3. No, 3, 2. Can't divide 3 into it. 9, no, so it's going to be 9 over 65. So that's one way of doing it. And it's going to ask about the vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes. Set denominator equal to what?
0.
0. Now, before you do that, you need to factor the top and factor the bottom to see if you get anything that what? Cancels. Like an x minus 2 up here or x minus 2 down here, they would cancel. Then you would set the denominator equal to 0. So this one would be x minus 1, x minus 9, x plus 1. And then this would be something, and you see if anything cancels. We did a couple like this. So look back in your chapter 4 notes, and we did a couple of these. Not supposed to bunch them together. All right, identify any horizontal and vertical asymptotes. What are these called? These vertical dashed lines. Those are vertical asymptotes. So what's your vertical asymptotes? -3 and what?
3.
Positive 3. Your horizontal asymptote is -4. So it'll be something like this one. No, that's x. Be y, somewhere y. Okay, choose the correct asymptote below. Y is equal to -4 and x is equal to positive -3. It's D. What is the domain of f? Well, you start at the left, negative infinity to what?
-3.
Do you touch -3? No. No. So it's a parenthesis. Then from -3 to what? 3. And then from 3 to positive infinity. So whichever one has 3 increments, that's it. Dang old 3 increments right here. 1, 2, 3. Dang old, that's the answer. That's a gimme. This question right here, nobody should miss. No calculating, just look at it. Okay? Find an equation for the rational function. Well, what is this? Is it a volcano? No, it's half of a volcano. So half of a volcano means that it's 1 over what? X. 1 over x squared is a volcano. That would be right here. So this is 1 over x. 1 over x something. Alright? So we've got a horizontal shift of 1 to the right. So that'd be a -1, right? So on the bottom is x minus 1 in parentheses. And that'll give you a little bit to go on right there. Okay? this one. Now, if you want to, you can graph this on the graph if you want to. Graph it on your graphing calculator. It'll take you a minute or two, but go ahead. That'd probably be the best thing to do anyways. Take your handy dandy calculator. And y, now you gotta know how to type it in. You gotta have enough parentheses. Y is equal to parentheses, x. I would use these things all the time, really. Plus 5, quantity squared, divided by parentheses, x minus 3 times x plus 8. I hope it don't blow up. All these parentheses. Graph. So you're going to have to blow it up a little bit and get out. So zoom back, zoom out.
You put enough parentheses in there?
And probably, I'm going to see if I got anything. Yeah, probably got to put another set of parentheses. Probably around that square. So let me put
Put it on where you have the little division sign there.
right there.
Yeah, you have to put a parentheses there to close the whole.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to add one right here. Hold on a second. Insert parentheses here, and then right here. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, you have to have one right there.
Yeah. Now let's try it.
Is there an undo button?
It's the same one. I don't know why it's not showing up like this one. It should show up like this one. Huh. Make sure nothing cancels. X plus 5 y squared. No, nothing cancels. You got a vertical asymptote at positive 3 and negative 8. So let's just look and see. Positive 3 and negative 8. You're going to have to blow it up because, good gosh, let's see, that's 5, 10, 15. Positive 3, negative 8. That looks good. Let's see what this one looks like. Positive 3, negative 8. That looks okay. Let's check, make sure all of them got a vertical. Positive 3, negative 8, and this one's probably the same too. Go away. Positive 3, negative 8. Okay, that looks good. So look at your horizontal asymptote. Horizontal asymptote. This is going to be, and we're going to have to take your algebra. Take your algebra. Let me go ahead and do that for you. Maybe another way to type it in is do the actual polynomials. Might be easier. So this is going to be x plus 5 times x plus 5, which is going to be x plus 5 quantity squared is x squared plus 10 be 20x plus what? 25 over, and then this is going to be x squared plus 5x minus, to be minus 24. So these go out and these go out, plug 0 in right there. You get 25, negative 25 over 24, which is negative 1 and 1/24. So your vertical asymptote is negative. So it looks like it's going to be this one right here. No, right here. There it is. Because your vertical asymptote is right here. It's right below.
How does the 5x cancel out? I understand the x.
Plug in 0. What is 0 for x? 0 squared is what? 0. 20 times 0 is what?
Okay, I see.
X, 20, 0, 0. So zeros, they go away. This is, I'm finding your vertical asymptote. It's right here. Our horizontal asymptote is what? 3 and what? Negative 8. So all these are 3 and negative 8. I told you all that. So now you've got to find the vertical asymptote to distinguish which of these graphs is correct. The only negative vertical asymptote is right here. Unless you look at this one. Why is it not these two? Because they have a positive. There's a positive and there's a positive. So it's not these two. It's one of these two. But if that one looks negative, I can't tell. You got to blow that one up. I can't tell if that one is as far down as that one. You have to look too. But that's how you do it. So on that one, it's probably going to be this one. I'm going to pull this one up so you can see it.
Yeah, that goes over.
It's positive, isn't it? Yeah, it's positive. So what's this one? Let me look at that again. Yeah, it's over 0. Can't tell it much, but it's over. Go away. Okay, number 10. Same thing here. 10x squared. Okay, this one. Okay, the domain. What's the domain of this one?
All real.
Well, you got a fraction, so you got to set that equal to 0. So x squared is, or x to the 4th is equal to -1, and that's not possible. Why?
Because negative can't be.
Exactly. So your domain is, you can't get. I'm looking to see. Okay, we got to figure it. You got to have 0. I'm thinking out loud here. You got x to the 4th plus 1 is equal to 0. X to the 4th is equal to -1, and take the square root of both. You can't do that, so that does not exist. So you better watch out with your domain here, because your domain is probably going to be all real numbers, because you have nothing. Is there anything that you can put into this that won't, that's what I'm trying to say with does not exist. Is there anything you will write that, can I plug in a -2? Yes. Can I plug in a +2? Yes. Can I plug in a 0.5? Yes. So the domain is all real numbers, even though it is a fraction, but the reason that is because this x is what? Raised to the 4th power, so anything, you can plug anything you want to in there. So that is all real numbers. The range, now this is dependent upon the vertical asymptote. This guy is got a degree equal to 2. This guy has a degree equal to what? 4. If the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, what's the vertical asymptote? Look at your rules. Your vertical asymptote should be 0. Check it and see.
Yeah.
And so you find where a vertical asymptote is 0. Is this one 0?
Yeah.
Yes or no? No, why? It goes over it, see? What does an asymptote do? Does your function touch the vertical or horizontal asymptote? Yes or no?
No.
Does not. This one goes over it, so it's not that one. So take that one out. And that's what they're wanting you to do on these things. They're wanting you to see. Now, this one looks like it goes over, but you need to look at it. Does it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, right here. So that's not it. This one, be careful, because that's 1. Vertical asymptote is 1, and it looks like it actually touches it. This one may be it, because that's a vertical asymptote of 0, but check it to make sure. It touches it. It looks like it touches it, but you've got to look real close. And this, it just goes on and on and on. And this goes on and on and on. It doesn't. And this, you got to go back and check your, I'm sorry. You got to go back and check your test for vertical asymptotes. This one looks like 1 is the vertical asymptote. Yeah, 1 is the vertical asymptote. So I'd say your answer is what?
B.
I would say it's the one that we said. Yeah, B.
I'd say it's B.
You say it's B? Why did
Because it's
I
negative.
I thought it touched it.
It did.
It did. We said it touched
But
it.
it's a negative.
It's, let's see, where?
The problem's negative, so it reflects over the x-axis.
Yeah, but it goes over the, if you'll look, and I'm just saying, right here, it actually goes over. I don't know, I could see your point there. Yeah, negative. That bothers me right there because it's actually, if you look close enough, I can't blow it up. But it's going over,
Try Control Plus. on your-
it's going over.
That's just
So-
maybe it's
That's insane. How are you supposed to see that? That's crazy.
I mean, I was just,
I know what you're saying,
That's for real.
but we know that the vertical, the horizontal asymptote is, it cannot touch or go over 0. So that's why I'm saying it might not be. It could be, I don't know, but I think my answer, if I was going to answer this, I probably would go with, and you could put it in your graphing calculator also.
hit the close.
Did I hit freeze?
Maybe just backing up.
Just,
In the calculator, would you,
hold on a minute, let me do one thing at a time. There. Well, we said the domain is all reals. Negative infinity, positive infinity, I ain't worried about that. The range for this one would be 0 to positive infinity. This one would be negative infinity to 0. But it says, it's not asking, is it? It's not even asking.
Well, the range?
No, it's not asking for the vertical asymptotes, but that's what we're looking for. The graph is symmetrical. Let's see what happens when we plug it in. I don't know if it'll graph it or not. Let's see what
It's
happens.
showing us.
Huh?
I think you
This thing's
froze the
froze.
screen.
Yeah.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's type it in. Y is equal to parenthesis, negative 10x squared, negative 10x squared, close parenthesis, and then open parenthesis, divided by, oops. Let's see, close parenthesis, divided by, let's see, let's take, and x to the 4th plus 1, close parenthesis, delete, and graph. And it blows up.
Maybe a little something.
Okay, zoom out.
what's that little line?
We're
moving
waiting.
right?
Yeah, why'd you zoom out?
What?
You should have zoomed in.
Sorry.
Yeah, hit your winger.
Sorry. Zoom
Just
in.
a little action.
Hit the window key. See what your little. Yeah, you're like
Negative 10,
60.
let's go negative 10 to positive 10, and negative 5 to 20. All right, you were right, but it doesn't look right when you do that. Let's look up here and let's look in a little bit more and let's see where I think they got it drawn wrong. Because you can't approach 0 and go over it. See, even this one doesn't go over like this one does. They've got it drawn wrong. I'm gonna go in one more time. Just be careful on these. I think I might as well quit. There. Shows it touching it. Okay, we'll go with B. You're right. And that would be negative infinity to what? Negative infinity to 0. And then this symmetrical around the y-axis. And it asks for the.
What are you saying the range is?
Huh?
What'd you say the range was?
Negative, oh, I'm sorry, 6 to 0. How about that? Negative 6 to 0.
Sure.
And choose the correct asymptotes. It said that the horizontal asymptote, there is no horizontal, but the vertical asymptote would be 0. So x is equal to 0, or y is equal to 0.
Thanks.
X is equal to 0. And that would be that. Okay? So be careful, because like I say, this picture is a little bit deceptive. They need to check that, they need to bring that picture down. They need to bring it down just a little bit so that it's barely touching the x-axis. All right, next one. Is that it? Next. Oh, okay, yes, leave the question. Okay, next one. Okay, is this a volcano?
Yes.
Yes. So you know it's either B or C. Which one is it not?
It's not
Not
B.
B.
It's not B because what?
Small.
Exactly. So I'd say it's C. And it's going to ask you for those, this may ask you for the domain and range, and that's easy. The domain is all real numbers except for 3, negative 3, and then the range is 0 to what? Infinity.
So on the last one that had a vertical asymptote of 0, is the domain not going to be?
It won't touch.
Yeah, it won't touch. So it's going
It's
to.
not supposed to touch, but you saw what the graph did. But, you know, when the degree of the numerator is the same as the degree of the denominator, the vertical asymptote is 0. And that means that the function is going towards 0, but it's not what? Touching 0. So it would be a parenthesis. That picture didn't show that. The picture showed it going over.
So the domain would be all reals.
Okay, the domain for that one would
That-
be
that was the
because
case.
there was no vertical asymptotes. Let's go back. Let me go back. Right here. See, there's no vertical asymptotes. Now, there's a horizontal asymptote. The horizontal asymptote is 0.
Why don't you just say that there was a vertical asymptote of 0?
Oh, then I meant horizontal. It's right here. Y is equal. X is equal. Y is equal right there. Y is equal to 0 is the
That's a
x-axis.
horizontal. Yeah.
Okay? There is no vertical axis. There is no. So therefore, your range is from negative infinity or whatever it was, 6 to 0, but it doesn't touch 0.
Okay.
I might have picked the wrong words. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Trying to get through the test before y'all start having conniptions about leaving. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, we did that one. That's a volcano. That's a given pretty much. You don't have to think much on this one. Match the rational function with the appropriate description. Well, first of all, you got the same degree, so your your horizontal asymptote is 0. Your vertical asymptote is what? -7, and that's it. So I guess this is it. Vertical asymptote is -7, so that's a gimme. Use division to rewrite the rational expression x into this. Sketch the graph by, okay, x will go into 4x 4 times. So, and that'll leave 4x and 12, and then this will be the remainder right here. So this will be 4, and then the remainder, what's 4 times, let's see, 4 times x is 4x, 4 times -3 is -12, but you always subtract, so that would make a -12 a +12, so that would be 1. You got to use long division there. And then sketch the graph. This right here is 1 over x minus 3, so that means you got a vertical asymptote at where? At 3. That's right. So which one is 3? Which one is not 3? This one may be 3 because it's on the right side, and this one may be 3. But which one, let's see, which one should be, let's say this is 4x, so 4 is your
BD.
is your horizontal asymptote, so that means y is equal to 4, so that means D is your answer. Because of that 4 right there. 4 is right there. So that one's not it. And they tell you to do it on the graphing calculator to check your answer. And you'll pick the one that looks like the one that we just did. So it would be, looks like this one right here, right? Yeah. I should take some of those off. Y'all don't need those anymore, do you? No comment?
You gonna drop a test grade?
Huh?
You gonna drop a test grade?
Yeah, let's catch you. All right, Volcano, but this one has a horizontal shift of what? 10 which way?
To the right.
To the right. So you're looking for 10 to the right. Which one is it?
B.
Good job. And you can do the domain and range based on that. The domain is negative infinity to 10, from 10 to positive infinity. That's the domain. Range is from 0 to infinity. Can't touch 0, can't touch 10. That's a good problem, because it's not confusing. That other problem is misleading. And 20.
Yes.
Okay? What time is it? 3:50? All right, we'll go over another test next time, okay? Y'all get out of here. Let me call the roll, because the bureaucrats, they'll get mad if I don't take the roll. Y'all be getting emails. Did I turn my, yes. Somebody hit my button for me back there.
Yeah, they saw.